Hello there, this is Sorvesteon coming to you from Naval Action. And today I've taken out my Old Ironsides. That is the USS Constitution, which is currently flying a British flag. Actually, this ship is still in service. She's an active US warship, and her mission right now is to promote understanding of the Navy and history and stuff like that. So anyways, this ship is, still in working order, and she can sail under her own power in the real world. And here I am playing her in Naval Action. And this is, a very, very, very nice ship. I've really enjoyed playing this ship, ever since I got it. Although I don't think I'm going to be able to hit this broadside. Well, whatever. This ship was an investment that I made once I hit post captain. I mean, she requires 450 crew to fully crew. However, at post captain with 350 crew and the new updates to the what do you call them? Extra hammocks. Yes, that's the upgrade I was looking for. With the changes to the extra hammocks giving you more of a bonus, undercrewing this ship is definitely feasible. It's more than feasible. When I was post captain grinding up to flag captain, this was the ship I used in all my fleet grinding before patch 9.7. Patch 9.7 made one big change though, and that was they reduced all the experience requirements for all the player ranks by something like 50%. So 9.7 came out, and I was a post captain. Before it came out, I was a post captain. After it came out, I was a flag captain. And I was, of course, able to crew a third rate. So that kind of made my Constitution, as beautiful as this ship is and as fun as this ship is to play, rather redundant, because the third rate obviously gets a lot more guns. And so you can do a lot more damage with it. Being a flag captain, you have a crew of 650. So you can fully crew a third rate. So there's no reason to really stick around in the Constitution if you don't need to. Like, if you have access to a third rate, you might as well just go for it. So anyways, that's what I did, and so my Constitution has been kind of collecting dust in my port, and before I decided to get rid of her, I thought I would make a video about her. Old Ironsides. That's the nickname she got after she fought the HMS Gruyere. She was given that nickname because the cannonballs from the Gruyere just bounced right off the side, and one of the crew members shouted, "Oh, look, her sides are made of iron." So that's how she got the name Old Ironsides. Also, she got the name Old Ironsides because she was an old ship. Most wooden sailing ships were expected to last around 10 to 15 years, whereas this thing, I think, was going on 30 years or something like that. So I don't know if that was at the time she got her nickname, but she's definitely old, and now she's very, very old. In real life, she's about 200 years old. So, but it's nice to be able to actually, if I can get this ship to go a little bit faster, it's nice to be able to, bring a little bit of naval history into gaming. So this is a very famous ship. If you know your tall sailing ships, and the fact that it's still around is just so cool. Yeah, you can see I'm just wasting these two Cerberuses. I've decided to bring her into a post captain mission, just to show her off. You can see she's not really taking that much damage because, well, this thing really is like, it feels like it has iron sides. Of course, you know, it doesn't. It doesn't have iron sides. There's no iron in its sides. It just has really extra thick planking. This ship was designed at the time to be a super frigate, so it's a 4th rate. The idea being that she's large enough and strong enough to take on any other frigate from any other nation, but she's still fast enough to run away from any ship of the line, which she's not capable of taking on. So appropriately, her armor is much thicker than that of any other frigate in the game, and she is quite. She does have quite a bit of armor. In fact, I would almost say she has more armor than a 3rd rate. Yeah, I have a fine 3rd rate. This is an exceptional crafted Constitution. And she has something like 8,000 structure on her sides, and my 3rd rate is only a fine, so I don't know if that really makes any difference. But it only has something like 7,000 or 7,500 or something like that, or maybe it's 7,700. I don't remember. Anyways, she has a lot. She has a lot of hit points on her sides, so. And really thick armor, so you know this ship can really take a beating. And when it comes to the 4th rates, that's kind of, you know, her kind of niche, or her claim to flame. Not claim to flame. Claim to fame. Her claim to fame is that, you know, this is like her nickname in real life. She's a very tough ship in this game, and she will take a lot of damage. She used to take even more damage before the patch, but since the patch and since they've updated, oh, that's too high. Let's aim lower. Since they updated the penetration mechanics, she's a little bit more squishy, but I mean every other ship is squishy too. She's still quite strong compared to other ships. The Ingermulland. I can never pronounce that. The Ingermulland is the other 4th rate, and the Ingermulland is what I would consider to be more maneuverable and has more firepower, whereas the Constitution has overall just more speed and more armor. So, you know, she's definitely a great ship. I've loved playing this ship. Right now I've got, I think, long cannons both on the weather deck and on the gun deck, and for my forward and back chasers. Before the patch, long cannons were definitely the way to go. Now I would probably put mediums on her, and that's better because, especially if you're undercrewing her, medium guns will take less crew, whereas long guns will take quite a bit. So. And you are dealing with quite large cannons, like, you know, these are 24-pounders on her gun deck, and I think they're 12-pounders on her. Let's turn around and get the other guy. Where is he? He's all the way back there. And there's 12-pounders on the weather deck. So, and she gets she gets 11 of them on her weather deck and 15 of them on her gun deck. So, you know, not quite as much firepower as the Ingermulland, in my opinion. I haven't really played the Ingermulland, but based on, you know, my encounters with the Ingermulland in missions, because they are there now, everywhere now it seems, and also from what people have told me in my clan, you know, she can't quite compete for firepower, but she definitely will outdo the Ingermulland in terms of survivability. Although, one of the things that really kind of is you're going to find a little bit of trouble is that the pump on this on the Constitution always seems to get knocked out. You know, definitely always carry an extra pump when you play this ship. And yeah, you can see here, like, she's not very good at accelerating. She's not very maneuverable. And I hope this NPC doesn't crash into me. She's relatively slow to turn, which is really annoying. But, you know, once she gets going, you know, she gets going. So just like just like her reputation and how she was designed in real life to be able to escape ships of the line, third rates and above. You know, she is, you know, pretty fast. She's about as fast as a frigate, a little bit slower, about as fast as a frigate. So, which is what she was basically designed to do. She was designed to go and catch other frigates and then, you know, capture them or take them down. So, you know, oh yeah. But like I was saying before, you know, like, just because she focuses more on defense doesn't mean that this ship shies away from firepower. I mean, I would definitely prefer a Constitution over, I don't know, maybe not over an Essex or a Trichomely. I mean, they're built for different things. An Essex might outdo a Constitution for firepower, maybe. It has less guns, but I think it can carry heavier guns on its weather deck. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. Let me know in the comments section whether I'm right or wrong. Because I've never played the Essex. By the time the Essex came out, there were very few of them on the market, and I was already moving up. So I just went with the Constitution, or the Connie as we call it. So yeah, it's a fantastic ship. I've definitely gotten my use out of it. I never regretted using it. It was strong enough to fleet farm third rates. So, and that was one of the main reasons why I used it, actually. It was because it was strong enough, it was tanky enough to be able to take on third rates that I used it for fleet farming. Fleet farming third rates before the patch anyways. And the introduction of fleet orders. Because, you know, she could take a beating from a third rate. She can sit right beside a third rate and she can go toe to toe. She doesn't quite have the firepower of a third rate. So, you know, I think in a one-on-one battle, you know, against two competent captains, the third rate would definitely win. But, you know, 2-on-1, this Constitution can sit beside a third rate and take the full pounding from a third rate. No problem for quite a while. And tank while, you know, other people do damage. So, you know, like, a Constitution and maybe another ship could definitely take on a third rate. If the captain is especially competent and good and is maybe fighting an AI, Constitution can definitely take on a third rate. PvP, one-on-one, I think the Constitution would lose to the third rate. So that's where it stands. But, you know, the Constitution is still a fairly popular ship for PvP because she's faster. You know, it's very common to see Trichomelies and Constitutions together. You know, the Constitution, you know, brings the firepower and the survivability while still bringing a little bit of speed. So, you know, she can still, with the help of a Trichomely or some other ship for tagging, you know, you can still get in there and you can still do quite a bit of damage without being left behind. Okay, so here I am back in port. I wanted to show you the specs on the Constitution. So on my Constitution, there we go. So on my Constitution, I've got live oak. I've got the live oak wood type. I've got build strength. I got speed on it. I've also put on a few other things. So I've put on copper plating to increase its speed. I've got improved magazine access to get the guns reloading faster. And I put on an optimized rudder to try and help make the Constitution turn a little bit faster. You know, the Constitution's strength is not really in its agility, so, you know, I found that helped a little bit. As you can see, the normal crew is 450. I've got 172 from the extra hammocks. They're nothing special, but they help a little bit. I put rum rations on, I've got powder monkeys, and of course, I've got an extra pump because the extra pump in the Constitution always seems, like I said before, to get knocked out. And, you know, now that they've changed the leaking system and leaks are a much more serious threat, you know, your pump is very important. I'm running the 24-pound long cannons on the bottom, 12-pounders on the top deck or the weather deck, and my front chasers and back chasers are just the 18-pound long cannons. Now, like I said before, I was doing long cannons before patch 9.7. I actually recommend medium cannons now if you're doing PvE, especially if you're undercrewing this ship as a post captain. Just because they take less crew and they have a much faster reload, and their penetration power isn't that much less than a long cannons, at least as I've found. So like I said here, look at her structure on her left and right sides. 8,200, almost 8,300. If I go to my third rate, my structure on my sides is 7,700. Now, mind you, this is a fine third rate, and this is an exceptional Constitution, so I would expect an exceptional third rate to have a bit more. But this means, but not like too much more. I mean, look at my Pavel. My Pavel has, okay, its side structure says 9,000, but I don't think it's quite that. Yeah, my side structure is 10,000. So, I mean, the Constitution has almost as much side structure as a freaking second rate. That's just crazy. She's just so tanky. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, Constitution is a fantastic ship. She's a little bit faster. The turn rate is not that good. She's got a good amount of armor on her bow, and her stern's not that great. Her sails have a decent amount, so she's a very good, tanky, beautiful looking ship. Worth every penny you put into her. She's a great investment. Not just for PvP, for PvE, but also for PvP. Having the stern and bow chasers is great. She's a great ship for capturing traders as well. If that interests you, like maybe going after a La Grosse venture. And it also helps in PvP. She can tag stuff if she's close enough. Although she's not really going to be tagging very much in PvP. I mean, that's the job of a Trichomely, or a Trink, or a Romane, or a Rummy, because those are the fast ships, or maybe even a Surprise. The Constitution's job is to kind of bring the firepower. And she is a fourth rate, so she does get 4 durability, which means, like if it's easier to lose her, it's not as expensive to lose her. You're going to get more out of your money. Whereas with the third rate, this one only has 1 durability. You're only going to have 3 durability, and with my Pavel, like a second rate only has 2 durability. So, these are this is one of the advantages to taking out a Constitution for PvP. And I would actually keep my Constitution for PvP if I didn't have more third rates already. So, alright, so that is the Constitution in Naval Action. A very beautiful 4th rate ship. Very good all-rounder, very tanky, very strong, sturdy, reliable ship. Let me know what you think about the Constitution in the comment section. I want to hear what your experiences have been and what you think about her. Don't forget to click like if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos about naval action. This has been Sorvesteon, and until next time, take care and happy sailing.